Welcome everyone to exercise 1 of week 3. And this week we're going to look at the biomolecules in the laboratory. And the first ones we're going to look at are starches and sugars. The first half of the experiment is going to be looking for reducing sugars. And how we're going to do that is we're going to start by putting our gloves on and our safety glasses. Always safety first. I have already measured out 10 milliliters of water in this small graduated cylinder and added it to my unknown bottle. I did that so we wouldn't have to waste your time looking at that part of it. And give that a good shake because you're going to be using that for several things. Then I went ahead and labeled my pipettes W for water, E for eggs, and then I also have another one for milk. I also used the marker to label these test tubes. Let me turn the camera here. Here is a lab hack. If you use a nail polish solution, you can get off the Sharpie marks from the previous week. So I have one labeled U for unknown, W for water, E for egg white, G for glucose, M for milk, and this is a EW solution. This is going to be my egg white solution. So we're going to start working with the egg white. Go ahead and crack the egg white to start with. Crack the egg, not the white. Goodness. All right. And go ahead and take your yolk out. You don't have to get this whole goop. Just enough goop to do what you need to do with it. And that's my little trash bin there. That's going to be a bit messy. So you're going to want to have a towel, which I just had here. All right. And then I'm going to take my fork and mix that up a bit. Otherwise, it's like trying to scoop up a oyster on the half shell. It would be kind of a pain. So I am just going to take my fork and give it a good mixing. I'm going to get rid of some of the boogeriness of it. Okay. Then I'm going to take my egg white dropper. Okay. And this is where I'm going to make my egg white solution. I know in the directions it says to use the plastic tray, but I don't like to use that, but it's definitely your call. So I'm going to take my egg white dropper, and it's a good idea to look where the gradations are before you do that because it's kind of hard to see. But you're going to draw up a 1/2 ml. These do have marks on them. And maybe I'm just getting old, but I have a hard time seeing the marks. And we're going to put a 1/2 ml into... See here, like I said, it does get kind of boogery. Into our test tube. There we go. And I'm pretty sure. Ugh, yuck. All right. Am I allowed to say yuck? Maybe I am allowed to say yuck. So the one that's marked egg white solution. And to that, I'm going to add 4.5 mils of water. We're just basically diluting the egg whites tenfold. Otherwise, they would be too thick. And I'm going to give that just a little... Not a shake, and yeah, shake just a little, like that. There we go. Do one of these things. This always works good. It's just egg white, so you can just use your glove. Doesn't want to mix up super well, but there's that. Okay. So now we're going to transfer basically 1 milliliter of each solution into these tubes. And here's another little hack. I take my glucose solution and I'm going to put 24 drops into here. I'll do this pretty quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. And the reason we can figure this is about 1 ml is because each drop is about 50 microliters, and 50 times 24 is approximately 1,000. So that would be about 1 ml. And so I am just going to take one of these small pipettes and put the same amount of milk. And I'll show you how I do that. So I use this to measure, and then I just add milk to that line. Okay, I know that's a little bit lazy, but it will go faster if you do it that way. And here I'm looking through the camera, see if I can get that perfect. I want to get those two to be about the same volume of fluid. Almost there. Okay. You're going to do the same thing with your egg white solution. and water. So I'm going to add the same amount of water, this one that says W, as I have in this glucose one. I'll try to do this quickly. There is a marker on my water thing, so that shouldn't be too hard to do. Yeah, that's a ml. Okay, so there's my water, glucose. All I have left is egg white and my unknown. For your unknown, you're going to put in 24 drops into that. I have used up most of my unknown. Well, no, I have some left, so I'll go ahead and do that. I'll put 24 drops in there. So that just leaves us with the egg white. And we're going to transfer using my e-pipette. And I kind of like to mix this, rinse this a little bit in my egg white solution thing. Otherwise, it has extra egg whites. You're going to get some of the goop in there. Try not to pick that up because that's going to mess up the experiment. So I kind of go around that if possible and get about a ml of that into your container marked E. And then see, that's pretty close. Okay, so now I'm going to take and add 40 drops of glucose into each of the container. But before I do that, you want to record the color and the clarity of each of these, like except for this one, obviously. This is our stock egg solution. Don't throw this away. You need it later. But these 5, you're going to record the color. Obviously, milk is a lot more opaque than just water, and then just your unknown. And now we're going to add the reagent that's going to turn color, and we're going to put it in the hot water bath, which I brought with me. So I'm going to take 40 mils of Benedict's reagent, 40 mils, 40 drops into each tube. Add those to each tube, 40, 40, 40. Not this guy, these 5. And then I'm going to put those in my water bath for 10 minutes. You don't need to see me do that because, I mean, that's going to waste your time. So here we go. I'm going to stop the camera now.